Good evening, everyone. I am Venus A. Parable, a Bachelor of Science in Criminology student, Section Alpha. Tonight, I will discuss about the importance of MMDA in our community. But before that, let me ask you a question. What or who is MMDA? MMDA stands for Metropolitan Manila Development Authority. They are a government agency in the Philippines responsible for the areas of Manila, Pateros, Mandaluyong, Makati, Muntinlupa, Marikina, Las Piñas, Parañaque, Quezon City, Caloocan, Pasay, Taguig, San Juan, and Navotas. In other words, the entire Metro Manila. The association was first known as the Metropolitan Manila Commission or MMC on November 7, 1975, when then President Ferdinand Marcos established the group as a managing public corporation. MMC was replaced by the Metropolitan Manila Authority or MMA on January 9, 1990, when then President Corazon Aquino issued a similar decree. This scheme didn't work because the chairman was always a mayor. So, the Philippine Senate found it appropriate to create what we now know as MMDA. It was fully established on March 1, 1995, and functions until today. The chairman is now always appointed by the president. You might think of them as targeting only clearing the Metro Manila road of pesky drivers and illegal vendors to have better sidewalks, but they are much more than that. Well, take a look at their scope of services and really get a deeper understanding of who these people are and their relevance to our driving in the metro. The scope of mandated services of MMDA, its functions and powers. So number one will be the development planning. The policy makers of the MMDA is called the Metro Manila Council, with mayors of the cities involved, heads of other government agencies such as Department of Transportation, Department of Tourism, Department of Public Works and Highways, Department of Budget and Management, Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Committee, and lastly, the Philippine National Police are also present in meetings. They are responsible for metro-wide plans, budgets, new laws to be implemented, all for having a safe and waste-free region. Number two will be the transport and traffic management. Probably what they are the most famous for. They are responsible for clearing obstructions from the road and performs operations against illegal parking and proper loading and unloading of passengers, driving and coding, not wearing helmet, not putting on seatbelts, driving with defective cars, smoke belching, inappropriate or unauthorized accessories, were taking above those camote stickers, fraud registrations, and much more. You would easily recognize them with their bright green vest patrolling the roads rampantly nowadays. They are also responsible for educating the public about traffic and requirements for cars and infrastructures. Number three is solid waste disposal and management. The MMDA is responsible for spreading information for proper and sanitary waste disposal. You wouldn't believe how many citizens still dump their garbage in rivers and in public areas. The MMDA is involved in operations of sanitary landfills and other related facilities and programs that promote the reduce, and recycle policy. If an MMDA officer catches you littering in the streets, you better be prepared with the consequences. Why would you even do that in the first place, right? So, number 4 will be the flood control and sewerage management. The MMDA is responsible for operating and maintaining water pumping stations around the metro with goals of integrated flood control, drainage, and sewerage management. They are most alert during inclement weathers. During the summer or dry season, the MMDA conducts an annual river dredging, mostly on the Marikina River and other flood-prone areas. This aspect aims for a more advanced region, starting with rehabilitation and growth of the slums. They also aim to develop and maintain housing facilities. Connected to the responsibility for transport and traffic management, the MMDA is also empowered to conduct clearing operations along sidewalks for people's use. The team most known for doing this are the Towing Group, the SCOG Sidewalk Clearing Operation Group, and the IACT or Interagency Council for Traffic. Number 6 will be the health and sanitation, urban protection, and pollution control. Smoking in public areas is now prohibited in the entire Metro Manila. Only the PNP can impose fines for those who caught violating this law. The MMDA will only apprehend you throwing that cigarette's butt on the road. Related to this is catching those whose cars are smoke belchers. Vandalism is also a concern for the group as well as those urinating in public spots. A former Marikina Mayor, Fernando Bayani, tried to reduce this by installing pink urinals in the road, but they were stopped when he left the position. You can still see some of them in other locations. Then last but not the least will be the number 7, public safety. The MMDA is on guard during calamities and disasters such as flood, earthquake, tsunamis, etc. They are at your service as they perform rescue operations, contingency plans, rehabilitation, and relief operations. I'm sure you have participated in at least one drill for the big one or dreaded earthquake. The MMDA certainly is no stranger to citizens' criticisms such as being involved in bribery, treating street children as rubbish when rescuing them, or for just being too aggressive. Sure, there are officers not doing their job well, but we shouldn't generalize. And that's all for tonight. Thank you, everyone.